Before we get into this video, I want to let you guys know that the official DualDEATHLucario Discord server is live. This is a great place to hang out with everyone, play some Pokken, get some advice on playing the game, and also just having a good time in general. Links in the description. Welcome back, lads and lassies, DualDEATHLucario here, and I was about to sit down and talk about this video, and look who decided to join me. Buddy. I also call him Trump Dog because, look at him. He looks like a dog version of Donald Trump. Ah, so you do. Okay, so I don't know if you're going to sit here for the entire video, but you can if you want. If you want down. Do you want down? He wants down. Down you go. Good dog. Okay, so he'll just hang out in there. So yeah, I just got back from Revo last night. I got back the other day. I'm going to pan this down a little bit, just so we can see, buddy. Just so we can see him. There he is. Hey, pal. So we can see him now. But anyway, I just got back from Revo last night, and I decided to document my experience and document how the tournament actually went. I know there was a couple of questions about everything that went on, and I'm also going to clarify some of that. So let's just talk about it now. What is he doing? He's licking himself. I'm going to move the camera up now since he's doing that. But anyway, Revo. So let's just talk about, well, the timeline. So, me getting to Revo. Now, getting there was pretty simple because I'm in Scotland, it's in England, in the UK, I don't have to travel by plane or by boat or whatever, I can just get a train. So I got a train, but unfortunately my train got delayed, so I got into there quite late. Now, when I did arrive, I was staying at an Airbnb with 9 other people, so there was 10 of us in total, and I messaged them, letting them know, okay, I'm in London, and they said to me, hey, we're actually having dinner right now, if you want to meet up with us. So I decided, yeah, I'll meet up with you, it's on my way. So, I got off my train, and I had to get I was technically meant to get 3 trains, one taking me down to London and 2 different trains in London. I only got 1, and I just walked and met up with them, and this was me meeting up with the Pokken community again since Sheffield. Now, the people that were there was Saberwolf, main TO, there was Timo, Big Homie Lee, also known as Tusax, that was his old alias, he changed it. This was my first time seeing him since last year, but he's back. He's lying right under my chair. If I move back, I'm going to run him over, so you always pick the best places to lie. So yeah, that was my first time seeing Timo since Revo last year, and he came up and gave me a hug. It was really good to see him again. Gentrax was there, Wingtide was there, someone else was there, I can't remember. There was Shay, there was Ruda Fuda. Shay and Ruda were NA players, they came all the way from America. Ruda came all the way from America just to commentate. He's done the same for Sheffield, so massive shout out to Ruda for making that massive trip just to commentate. He also wanted to see London. And there were a couple other people I'm probably forgetting. And sorry if oh, Gorson. Of course, I couldn't forget Gorson. Now, when I got there and I was meeting up with everyone had already eaten, or people were relatively close to finishing. I remember Jen noticed that I wasn't eating because I didn't feel like ordering since everyone was ready to leave. And he said to me, Jewel, I'll give you my chicken if you agree to money match me. And Jen has actually been asking me to money match me a bit. I've been asking him, can I play your Sceptile with my Shem Mewtwo just to learn the matchup? And he was like, only if you agree to money match. And I was like, no. I don't feel confident enough to money match, and this is Gentrax we're talking about. Jen has never lost a money match. Ever. So I was really like, well, that chicken looks good and I'm hungry. Screw it. So I agreed, we put 15 quid on the table, and I took his chicken and I ate it. It was worth it. The chicken was really good. So we went to the Airbnb, and we got there, and people started asking me, did you bring a docking port and a LAN adapter? And I was like, no. I thought everyone else would bring one. We did not have a single docking port or a LAN adapter, so we could not even wire up to play LAN at the Airbnb. We were forced to get our stands, and mine's in my bag, get our stands out, and essentially play tabletop friendlies over wireless, which might have given us some net play, which, that's the first event I've been to where that's happened. But anyway, it was not too bad. Lobotronic showed up, he showed up late. So we were all at the Airbnb. The Airbnb consisted of me, Ruda, Timo, Jen, Gorson, Shay. Wait, did I count me, Ruda, Timo, Wingtide, his friend, I keep forgetting his name, I'm really sorry. Gorson, Jen, Lobotronics, There was also Nia, I forgot to mention, he was at Nando's. Nia, you guys know him, Decidueye player who I keep running into in ranked. There's someone else that I'm forgetting. So we got some sleep, we went to the event the next day. That first night was kind of uneventful, we just played some friendlies and chilled out. So we went to the event, and we got there, and the first thing I said to Jin was, can we play that money match now, just get it out of the way. So we did. We started playing, and it was quite back and forth. Like, I won the first 2 games, it was first to 5, he won 2 games, I won 2 games, he won 2 games, and we were at set point, but I did it. I won the last game, and I basically just beat Jin's money match streak. But unfortunately, like, during our 3rd game or whatever, or when it was like 3-2 to me, we got interrupted by the opening ceremony, so we had to stop playing. And Jin was convinced that he was about to win that game. I really cannot remember the score, I can't remember the HP, I can't remember the time, I can't really remember. So Jin asked if we could play one more game to make up for that one. So we did, he ended up winning it, so technically we drew and went 5 each? Question mark, is that even possible on the first to 5? But maybe if that match had been interrupted, Jin would have won the first to 5, but I also won it, so I don't know. But anyway, so we called it a draw, but that was fine with me. Beating Jin in the first to 5, that's worth it. With just Jin and Mewtwo, that's worth it. So this is when we ran into some trouble. Now, there were 2 major problems with this venue. Well, 3, but 2 of them were major. The first big problem, there was no Wi-Fi. There was no Wi-Fi, no router, no internet, and the only thing we could use is 3G, 4G, but the walls were made of frigging metal, so the connection was really bad. Like, even on my 4G phone, I could not connect for the life of me. So that messed up our plans. The stream, I was meant to be first on stream, people were looking forward to that, people were like, oh my god, DualDEATHLucario is playing first. That didn't work out. And then, the biggest problem that we had. This is a little complicated, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to mess up a detail or 2 because I don't know the full story, but here's the TLDR. So basically, the guy who sold us the venue, the guy who decided... There was a landlord who ran the venue, just like, basically, this is my house, basically, I can do whatever I want to it, but I pay my bills to a landlord who does all that. So that was the situation. Someone sold the venue to us, and they didn't pay their rent. They didn't pay the landlord's rent, we weren't told. So the landlord came in and was like, you didn't pay rent, you can't be at the venue, I'm kicking you out. So basically we got kicked out of the venue early, and we weren't allowed back in for day 2 and 3. And that really sucked. It was not the fault of the TOs, the tournament organisers, for any of the games. We did not know. It wasn't a problem on the staff's part, it was the asshole who sold us the event, who didn't pay his rent, and basically didn't tell us. So it was a really dick thing to do, and that guy was a massive prick for it. And I can't really blame the landlord because I can understand why he kicked us out, but that asshole who didn't pay and didn't tell us, what a prick. So as a result, we were on a tight schedule. We had to be out there 4 hours earlier than we were expected to. The stream wasn't working. Everything was kind of going to hell. So we basically decided, let's just get top 8 done. And I remember it was the first time I legitimately saw a tournament organizer break down and get legitimately angry and frustrated at our situation. And before I get into my actual part in the tournament and how I did, I just have to say a little thing to the tournament organizer for the Pokken event, Saber Wolf, who's a good friend of mine. We've been out drinking before at the last tournament at Sheffield. He took this really hard, he got really angry and frustrated. And I remember that night when we went back to the Airbnb, he came with us, he wasn't staying with us. But he decided to hit the alcohol a little hard because of how frustrated he was. And he eventually admitted to me that he was really sorry that the tournament messed up so badly. I had a heart-to-heart to him because, of course, I am a good friend with him. And I told him that it wasn't his fault. The tournament so far had been really good. And I'm thankful for everything he'd done because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have been there. I wouldn't have been at Sheffield. I wouldn't have been at Revo last year. I wouldn't have been a DreamHack. I basically owed him for me going to tournaments, and I'd done everything I could to make him know that I appreciate that. And I wasn't doing that simply out of the goodness of my heart. It was legitimate, how I felt. But anyway, let's get into how I done in the actual tournament. So my first match was against Afrokami, and who plays Sceptile. That's why I wanted to play Jin, to get some experience in the matchup, and oh god. Mistakes were made. first thing that got my attention immediately. Nia was turned on again. Seriously, you people who play with Nia on at the highest intensity, how the fuck do you put up with that? I had her on, I had my headphones on to block out all the other noise so I could concentrate slowly in the match. She was in my ear every 2 seconds just talking, and I was getting really irritated with her. But also, I did not... Afro plays a bit differently from Jin. The thing about Afro is he is an RPS style Sceptile. He's going to stand in Leaf Blade range and say, I'm either going to Leaf Blade you, or I'm going to Giga Drain. If you hold block, you'll get hit with Giga Drain. If you do anything else, you'll get hit with Leaf Blade. And I was like, oh god. And also, I got screwed over twice. Like, first time I was about to win the first game. It was like 1-up, and I had less health, but the timer was about to run out, and I knew the only thing I could do was dash up, grab him. And if the grab connected, I would have won. If it didn't, I would have lost. And just as I reached for him, the time ran out. So that was the result of me losing the first game. And I know, but it's kind of not really meant to be an excuse because I got into that situation in the first place, but yeah, that pissed me off. Then the second game, the exact same thing almost happened, except take away the timer, put me in burst, and I 6-6, Miracle-Eyed, and I was about to grab him, Burst Exhaust hit me. And instead I got a 5Y. And those two things together tilted me, and I got really annoyed, and it didn't help that Nia was talking in my ear, so I ended up losing that first game. So I lost my first game and got sent to losers right away. And I was pretty annoyed at that, especially since I'd done so well against Jen, and now I just got 2-0'd. So yeah, I was pretty pissed. My next game was against Katsu. I cannot remember your full name, I'm sorry. We are pretty cool, we can hang out. He loves the fact that I wear my Lucario hat, which is way over there. He loves my Lucario tattoo. He loves, basically, he's a furry, and he thinks I'm a furry, so yeah, we get along. But I played him and I lost the first round because I'm still tilted from my losers game. So I had to take a minute. I just was like, get your composure, just calm down, relax. So I got my composure and I won the next, and I won the set. I ended up perfect to him. I then played a Wingtide's friend. I think his name was Yornha. I don't know. He played Krogunk and he immediately did not understand what the hell was going on. Like, I got him into field phase and I got him into the corner against the wall. I set up my side Y mirrors, I got a back Y, I started setting up my neutral Ys, and I got my shield breaks. I got like 2 shield breaks on him, and I got a perfect. And he just did not know how to handle it. And I remember it was quite funny, because he played Wingtide's Shadow Mewtwo quite a lot, and but when it came to my Shadow Mewtwo, he just did not know how to handle it. So I found that funny, but he then switched to Empoleon, which didn't, he played Krogunk first game, but he then switched to Empoleon, pretty much the same thing happened, I got another perfect on him. And yeah, that was a thing. Now, top 8, we ran out of time, so I wasn't able to play my top 8 game. The game that would confirm me for top 8, so that had to wait till tomorrow. Now tomorrow, we did have some alcohol at the thing. I downloaded Dragon Ball FighterZ, and I then realized, wait a minute, Android 21, the character I really want to play, and one of my mains, is locked behind the single player, so I'm going to have to grind the single player to unlock her. So, I started grinding the single player. It was in 3 parts, and I completed part 1 that first night. So, I was in a good mood for that. But anyway, day 2, speaking of Dragon Ball FighterZ, I actually got the chance to play Dragon Ball FighterZ properly against Gorson. And Gorson hadn't played in a while, but I think Gorson was the better player than me because he was able to punish me more consistently. He dropped his combos less often than I did, but I was a little more familiar since I played more consistently. He hasn't played that in a while, but it was still a fun time. I won 5-4 in the set we played. We played the first to 5. It was really fun. It was really fun to play another fighting game competitively like that. So, there was that. Then day 2, the new venue we were in was a little better. The internet was there. Even my 3G was better. Another thing I didn't mention about the first venue is it was really warm. Like, it was really small, and it was quite warm with that many people and that many consoles on. But this one was way more open, it was much cooler, I appreciated that. So, to get top 8, I had to wait for my opponents. It was between French Libre Kira, I know there's 2 Kiras, so I'm gonna have to be quite clear on which one I'm talking about, and Gorson. It was between those 2, and I got matched up against Gorson. So, Gorson, yeah, that wasn't going to be fun, and I actually won. I won 2-0, and I know some people are like, oh my god, you beat Gorson's Machamp 2-0 with your Shadow Mewtwo? No, I didn't. He was not playing Machamp. He played Pikachu. Now, the reason that he wasn't playing Machamp is Gorson is actually going to be retiring from Pokken very soon, so he's not really taking tournaments seriously. He saw this as more of a vacation, rather than wanting to get stressed about how well is he going to do, how well are people going to perceive how he's going to do. Yeah, so he wasn't playing Machamp. I'm pretty sure if he was playing Machamp, I would have had a harder time, but I also played really well. Like, that tilted mindset that I had in day one, I got over it. I was much more concentrated and much more able to go. So I was in top 8. My first opponent was the other Kira, the Italian Mewtwo Kira, who I've played a lot, and I was still going solo Shadow Mewtwo. I'd won all my games with Shadow Mewtwo so far. And I beat his Mewtwo with my Shadow Mewtwo. Now I know that's a hard matchup for me, but I've learned that matchup really, really well. And he could not stay concentrated, he got a little messed up, and he got into the mindset that I had that first day. But I didn't. I was able to stay composed, I was able to stay concentrated, and I won 2-0. So, yeah, good for me. Then I played my next game. That was my only game that was streamed. So if you watched the stream, you would have saw me. You would have saw my Dragon Ball Z hoodie, which is getting washed right now because I just came home. But I played that, and I played against Rubs, and I know, alright, he's a Darkrai player. I don't like this matchup too much, but I'm going to power through it. Which is why I was really surprised when I saw Suicune. Now, he did play Suicune in Wii U, so it's not like he just broke out a pocket character. He goes back and forth between Darkrai and Suicune. So, I was not expecting Suicune, and I made a couple of mistakes in the first game and I got ran over. If you watched the stream, you would have known that. And it was at that moment I was debating going Lucario, but I was like, no, just stick it out with Shadow Mewtwo. I've got a bit of an idea how Rubs is going to play, so I won the second game quite convincingly. Then I went into game 3, and I ended up losing it. So I lost on stream, and that was me out of the tournament. But I got 5th place at a major with only Shadow Mewtwo. And I remember I actually played Gorson's Machamp in friendlies with Shadow Mewtwo, and I was winning most of the time. Obviously I got the first to 5 against Jin, and they both complimented my Shadow Mewtwo and told me it was really good. And it was better than I'd done at Revo last year, better than I'd done at Sheffield, with just Shadow Mewtwo. I could not be disappointed with this tournament if I tried. I eventually watched everyone else play it. I watched the remains of top 8, and I've just basically played friendlies the rest of the day. Now, I didn't have to go back to the venue for the last day. A lot of people left. A couple of us went back just to chill out. I went there to play some more Dragon Ball Fighters. I didn't actually get the chance to play some Dragon Ball Fighters. I also went to play some friendlies in Pokken again. That's where I played Gorson's Machamp and Jin Sceptile, and it was the end of the Revo was technically over the tournament, so I no longer had to play solo Shadow Mewtwo. So I played some Lucario a bit, and surprisingly, he was not rusty. Lucario was still really good. He even was able to hold his own against Jin Sceptile, despite Jin knowing that matchup very well. But the reason I actually went back to the venue, hold on a minute, is because I ordered something, and I had to go pick it up. So, I saw this at the venue. There was an art stall, and I saw this, and I could not leave without getting it. I ordered it on Saturday. It was only available and ready for pickup on Sunday, so I went back to the venue just to get this, and no regrets. I also got this one, which is 2B from Nair Autonoma. I prefer A2. If you guys have played Nair, you'll know A2. She's the superior Robo waifu, but I love Nair Autonoma so fucking much. It's one of my favorite games. I had to pick this up, so I'll put them up on my wall with the rest of my stuff. I might put them up on this wall over here. I've got a Pokken poster over there, a Lucario poster above my setup, so that was that. So that was basically it. I also went out for dinner with Gorson and Lobotronics one night. I went out with Shay, Ruda, Wayntide, etc., Saber. I went out with them for dinner as well. So that was that. I came home, and a couple of my Pokemon friends here at home were hanging out, so I met up with them. I got pizza with them, and then I came home. I got home about 2 o'clock last night, and I was really exhausted, so I did not feel like making this video. That's why it's out today. So overall, my experience at Revo was a good one. I wouldn't say it was my favorite tournament. That still might be Revo last year, and the only reason I say that is because a lot of American people were there last year. A lot of people that I met with and got along well with last year weren't there this year. So that might have have put a dent in the works. I didn't actually get to go out for a dedicated drinking session like I did at Sheffield with everyone, so that sort of wasn't great either. But in terms of placing, this was my best tournament I've placed in, and I'm really happy for that. Revo is confirmed for next year. Pokken is going to be there, so I'm going to Revo again next year. 3 years in a row I'm going to be at Revo. And although I just got back, I have again booked my next tournament. I booked my flights on my way home. My next tournament is going to be Destiny. It is going to be in New Jersey. So if you're in the New Jersey area, I would recommend you go. I will leave a link for the tournament in the description if you want to check it out. But anyway, this video went a little longer than I intended. I can't remember how long my Sheffield one was. I'm not going to check. But anyway, that's the end of that. I just want to say thank you all for watching. I don't feel like saying the like, subscribe, everything, but thank you all for watching. I'm DualDEATHLucario. I will be playing some Dragon Ball Fighters because I just got it and I want to make it a thing on my channel, so I'll be playing it and we'll get back into Pokken very soon. Don't worry, Pokken is always going to be the main focus of this channel. I just want to play some Dragon Ball. So, look forward to that. I'm DualDEATHLucario. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all have a nice day.